Mental toughness secret number 6. Champions lead through facilitated introspection.
All great leaders know that the most effective form of learning is self-discovery. World-class coaches and managers believe in facilitating the introspective process, which helps people rediscover what they already know. Instead of leadership through the outdated command and control, do it or you're fired model, progressive managers are constantly asking their employees questions and taking careful note of their answers. The great ones know that most people are unaware of what makes them tick in terms of their emotional motivators. The only way to help a person discover the hidden power locked up in their psyche is through asking probing questions. Learning occurs at 2 levels during this introspective process. The first level is when the person digging down inside himself becomes aware of the emotions driving his behavior. And the second is the manager's awareness as it relates to which buttons to push when it's time to motivate his charge to action. Amateur coaches and managers coach primarily through logic. Professional coaches and managers coach primarily through emotion. Since human beings are primarily emotional creatures, it's obvious which method has the most power. Facilitating the introspective process in another person requires patience and time, and the great ones are willing to invest. The amateur wants instant results, but pros know this rarely occurs. The payoff for the pro comes not only in the form of increased productivity, but also in the connection created between manager and employee. Once an emotional creature is convinced that you care about what she thinks and how she feels, it sets the stage for emotional bonding to occur. Managers and leaders who lead this way lose very few of their people to rival companies because of this bond. In the age of the mind, facilitated introspection is the core process of leadership.
Now, I've heard you say this in person. The great managers and leaders of the future, and that's important here, of the future will know more about their people than ever before. They'll know their emotional hot buttons as well as the essence of what makes them tick. Through facilitated introspection, these leaders will create a competitive immunity for their companies by reigniting the flame of loyalty that burns within their people. Now, of course, Steve, we know a lot of people who have this ability now, great managers right now. But when you look at the overall scope of this, they're few and far between. The good news is you're saying once people finally understand this, this may actually become commonplace in corporate America.
It has to, Bill. I think it really has to. And to create this competitive immunity that all companies are trying to create.
Absolutely, they are.
This is going to be this is the wave of the future, I believe.
The action step for this secret: invest 20 minutes today leading someone through the introspective process. Your first question should be, tell me what you really want out of life more than anything else. Your goal should be to make the person comfortable enough to answer you in terms of how she feels rather than how she thinks. Once she begins to explain her feelings, follow up with these questions. There are 6 overall questions. They're very important. You might want to go over them twice, Steve, but give me those 6 questions right now.
Okay, number 1. What exactly do you mean by that? Number 2. What does that look like? Number 3. Why do you feel that way? Number 4. Tell me more about that. Number 5. Why is that important to you? Number 6. What does having that mean to you?
You know what's amazing about these questions, Steve, that you would give to not just an employee, but a friend as a manager? They sound so simplistic. They sound like everyday questions we hear all the time, but they're so key in the context that you're applying them right here. Give me those questions just once more.
Okay, what exactly do you mean by that? What does that look like? Why do you feel that way? Tell me more about that. Why is that important to you? What does having that mean to you?
Simple questions, but when you apply them the right way as a mental toughness secret, they can make all the difference in the world to you as a manager.
Well, it really helps the person stay in that emotional state of mind and explain. It lets it flow. It lets the emotion flow. And they reveal themselves to themselves.
Which helps you not manage them, but lead them to become better people themselves.
And to lead them to help them get what they want, which helps you get what you want as a manager and a coach.
It's a win-win. If
It
there
really
ever
is.
was a win-win situation, that's one of them.